right, how's it going, everyone? Spencer with CFSM Media, giving you a look behind me at San Onofre Nuclear Generating Station. So, a little history on the plant is it got shut down years ago due to a coolant leak. So the provider that did all the coolant lines for the plant was Mitsubishi. This is the same company that did Fukushima. So you can understand why the plant was shut down. It was a lot more costly to repair the mistake at the plant and redo the cooling system than it would be to demo the plant, and that's where we're at today. Now, there's a stark comparison on power consumption, right? So San Diego and Orange County and LA, so that's Southern California, gets about, I would say, about 25 to 30% of its power from Palo Verde Nuclear Generating Station, which is outside of Phoenix, Arizona, pretty close to Buckeye. So the hypocrisy of it right now is California is very anti-nuclear. They're shutting down Diablo Canyon here in a few years. And that's the last nuclear power station within California, which means they're going to have to rely a lot more on other states to provide power or build more of the peak power stations, which you see along Carlsbad, since they've torn down the Encina power plant. Someone correct me on the pronunciation. I always pronunciate it wrong. But the fact remains that the state getting rid of a green form of energy like nuclear is very short-sighted. So what I'm thinking the state should do, you already have the infrastructure built here for the most part. Yes, it's getting torn down, but that's not the point. What they need to do is look at the latest generation nuclear reactors. You could bring in a bunch of SMRs, which are small modular reactors. They do also have the new sodium reactors, which are able to reuse spent fuel. Now, I'm going to do a shout out to Illinois energy professor, as he's one of the guys that's been a huge proponent of nuclear energy. He's obviously a professor, and he explains the technology very well. Now, there are a lot of concerns that, okay, this is going to be the next Chernobyl, yada, 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 with this plant. Well, you can see the boobs, as we call them, back there. Anyone who's a SoCal local will know it as passing the nuclear boobies. That's the containment unit. That is thick concrete. Even if a reactor were to melt down, it would still be stuck within there. And it's in its sarcophagus, to use the Chernobyl word of it, where it's all contained. So a nuclear leak is not even a concern. And there haven't really been many nuclear accidents within the states, right? You had a few, but they were all contained. So that being said, what California needs to do, I know there's a huge push for green energy, so you're going to see a lot of solar, you're going to see a lot of wind coming through. What they need to do is put in more nuclear to offset that. Because when it's 120 degrees out in Phoenix, well, that power that would normally be excess that they would share on the Southwest grid, note that the Hoover Dam is producing less power because of the drought, so that's less power for Southern California. All that power is staying in the home states to the shares. I think it's like 25% APS, a mixture for SRP around that same number. Look at my website. I did an article on that a while back. Check out cfsmmedia.com for that. I do write articles there occasionally when I'm not doing these interview style, posting on videos on YouTube or Rumble or wherever else. So when those power providers are not able to switch their electricity over to the California side because they're using majority of it because it's hot out, well, that's less power for Southern California, and you get rolling blackouts. So again, what they really need to do here, and then we're planning on doing a tour of the plant. That is an option in the future. We're also going to do a tour of Palo Verde. That is also in the game plan. This whole Rona thing kind of screwed everything up on plans for that, but because these are obviously national security level facilities. So we're going to go ahead and try to schedule at least the tour of the decommissioning over here, and then we'll also schedule one of Palo Verde, which is active. We are trying to get it around the time that they do the fuel rod replacements, because that's a really cool thing to get on camera. But the end goal of this video is to tell you all that nuclear is very safe. It is a green form of energy. It produces no carbon emissions. So realistically, we need more nuclear. You're getting all these electric cars on the road, you're doing all that kind of stuff. Well, we need more nuclear to offset the grid. I'm not saying we don't need other sources like solar and wind, but the most bang for your buck is nuclear. Toss in a few SMRs, toss in those new sodium-cooled reactors, boom, you're good. Very safe technology, and it can produce as much megawatts as you need. And at least with the SMRs, it is modular. So it's not like building a giant reactor and that taking like 10 years to develop. You can get these in within a couple years if the right push is there for it. So again, Southern California, talk to your local representatives. Say, hey, we got this facility right here. Why aren't we reusing it? Why aren't we putting the latest technology in it? Why do we have to continue to roll through rolling blackouts in Southern California? It's because of bad policies from the top. I know that was one thing that if Newsom was kicked out during the last recall session, that was one of the things some candidates were talking about is, hey, we need to push for more sustainable energy sources. So boom, nuclear is your option there. But that being said, it is a nice day at the beach. I'm gonna hit the water here after I put all this stuff away. So enjoying my time back in San Diego. Figured I'd do one of these segments for you guys, give a little bit of an update, and I will do a follow-up segment on this. I do have a video that I do have from SoCal Edison talking about this, so I'll have to find somewhere. Can probably do a more in-depth analysis on the closure and everything behind, but at least for now, this is just a quick update video. Again, more to come on this topic and nuclear energy and infrastructure. Give us a like, share, subscribe. Check us out on Rumble because all of our band content is on Rumble. And thanks for supporting the channel, guys. Again, like, share, subscribe. Take it easy, guys.
All right, one final thing I wanted to add at the end of the video here is that they're looking at potentially using San Onofre, the power plant site, as a future desalination plant. I mean, obviously that's going to require a lot of cleanup. It is a super fun site, nuclear power plant, industrial, all that kind of stuff, right? And there is spent fuel rods on property. So moving those, putting in a desal plant, I don't know exactly the logistics of them doing that. I know when I was interviewing the Bureau of Reclamation at the Hoover Dam, that was one idea that their public affairs person told me is either there or Tijuana. I think Tijuana is a terrible location just because they don't actually manage their sewer well, and there's always leaks, and it's going into the river, and then that's causing the beaches to close. So it's, yeah, I don't trust Mexico to do that. So I would rather say if you're going to build a desal plant, build it here. If we want to pipe water over to Mexico and there's some trade agreement, fine. But we still need a nuclear power station to run it, I believe. So I think worst case scenario, I mean, there's a lot of land on Camp Pendleton. If they really want a desal plant, work with the Navy, work with the Marine Corps, work with all agencies that would be involved, and build it somewhere on the base as well. Maybe not next to the plant, but nearby. And then we'd be good to go on that. However, as I said, I do think that San Onofre should remain a nuclear power station. Obviously rebuilt because they cannot use the existing infrastructure because of the damage by Mitsubishi. So that being said, guys, again, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'm going to try to do a couple more infrastructure videos here, but I'll see you all in the next video.